Hello and welcome to the debut episode of People with Parents. My name is Leanne Lord, and I'm a stand-up comedian, author, keynote speaker, and daughter. That last title has started becoming more important recently. For years, I traveled around the country and around the world living my dream as a working stand-up comic. Home was the place I went to do my laundry and write jokes. Well, a few years ago, circumstances began changing. That's a story for another podcast. Essentially, I came off the road, went home, and instead of finding my parents, I found two old people. I was like, oh my God, what are Ruby Dee and Ozzie Davis doing in my house? I know it sounds crazy, but I just never expected this. I never expected my parents to get old. I actually want to write an adult children's book. Where do old people come from, and why do they smell like that? What I really never expected was for them to need me. I don't have children, so I'm not used to being needed. I feel like I'm just getting the hang of looking after myself. So there's this creeping role reversal thing happening that I feel completely blindsided by and totally unprepared for. I know this isn't a unique experience, but it's new for me. By the way, I'm not my parents' only child, but I am the only one they like, so here I am. I'm having conversations I'm uncomfortable having. I'm seeing things I never thought I'd be seeing. Smelling things I shouldn't be smelling. And steadily moving from daughter with a lowercase d to daughter with a capital D. It's scary, exhausting, enlightening, funny, and it's driving me crazy. What's really insane to me is that the relationship we have with our parents is probably the most complicated one we have, and yet no one ever talks about how to navigate it, especially when our parents get old. And so that's why I've created the People with Parents podcast. I want it to be the place where we talk about, figure out, and laugh about our parent problems. I'll share stories about my old folks, my senior citizen toddlers. I'll interview some famous people and some not so famous to find out how they're dealing or not dealing. I'll talk to a professional every now and then to get some guidance on how to do this part of the journey. But most importantly, I'll talk with you because I feel like now more than ever, with people living longer and doctors curing less, it's important to know we're not alone in this, that I'm not alone. So if you've been blindsided like me, if you're in the thick of it, if you've been there, done that, I want to hear from you. And maybe together we can get through this with love, laughter, comedy, candor, and support. And by support, I mean liberal amounts of wine with a capital W. So if you're People with Parents, please listen to and review the podcast on iTunes. Check out the People with Parents Facebook page where I post helpful articles and share the memes that kind of started it all, my hashtag parent problems. Like the page and follow on Twitter at PwParents. Thanks for listening. I'm Leanne Lord, daughter with a capital D. And you can find out more about me and my work as a stand-up comedian, author, keynote speaker at veryfunnylady.com. People with Parents is produced by workaholic, control freak, perfectionist, me, and music was provided by the Jazz Lounge Project.